Good evening, welcome to Newsnight. My name is Kenneth Jesse. We are live from our studios at Northridge in Accra. Let's take a look at our top stories for tonight. Delayed Central Region Executive elections by the ruling New Patriotic Party comes to an end. We have the entire fallouts for you. Safe extraordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government on the political situations in Burkina Faso, the Republic of Guinea and Mali ends at the Jubilee House in Accra. Also coming up, former Minister of Energy and Petroleum and MP for Elembele constituency Emmanuel Larmarco shocked by Ghana Gas's denial of concerns that it's neglected the region in its corporate social responsibility drive. We'll hear more from him. Later on the international front, 4 people killed and 5 others injured when Kenyan police opened fire on a crowd protesting against an increase in attacks by wildlife. Details are up shortly. Stay with us. Welcome to the program. Let's begin from the Central Region, where elections for the Central Regional New Patriotic Party executives have just ended. The election was originally scheduled for last week but was moved to Saturday, June 4, 2022, due to an injunction necessitated by a pending election in the Kumfi constituency of the region. On Friday, 3rd June, however, election was successfully held for the Kumfi constituency, which has now paved way for the regional polls. Let's now go on to the phone lines and speak to our resident correspondent in the region, Akwesi Ado. Akwesi, welcome to the show. What were the fallouts from the elections?
Okay, Ken. So the whole process just ended about a minute ago from here at Dunkawa in the Central Region. For the 3rd consecutive time, Mr. Robert Kutin Jr. has been elected as chairman for the region. Now, in a close contest between him and Mr. Isibu, Robert K. Kutin Jr., the incumbent chairman, garnered 237 votes, as his contender garnered 195 votes. So, Mr. Robert Kutin Jr. has been sworn in as regional chairman to lead the frontier in the Central Region.
Right.
The atmosphere was generally calm until when the voting process ended, where there were 1 or 2 scuffles in which, during one of such instances, we even had the Ascent South MP being heckled by the police when he tried entering into the main hall scheduled for the exercise.
Right. Yesterday we saw that the weather wasn't all that favorable. How was it today?
The weather was very favorable. The weather has been very sunny since mid-morning.
Hello, Akwesi.
Yeah.
Were there any shocks? Was there any candidate that shockingly lost?
The candidate that shockingly lost may be considered as Mr. Esu, because hither to this exercise, he was the man who was actually head on ground. In fact, almost all the delegates had threw their support behind him. We even had a former National Communications Director of the MPP, lawyer Admakumba, descending down here in the region to campaign on his behalf. So everybody thought he was going to win, but at the end of counting, he lost once again to the incumbent chairman.
Right. Let me take you back to the Kumfi constituency, where 2 candidates had 140 votes apiece. What has happened to them? Has the party released any communication as to the way forward?
Okay, Ken, that is quite interesting. And I have not heard anything from the party yet. But yesterday, before leaving the Kumfi, I personally heard a couple of party faithfuls who were threatening to embark on yet another legal journey concerning that particular election, in which we had a tie between 2 candidates who garnered 140 votes each.
Okay. Akwasiado, thank you very much for that update. He's a resident correspondent in the Central Region, bringing us up to speed on events that happened during the regional elections today. Let's still stay with the MPP as the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the ruling New Patriotic Party, Bernard Ntwibwe-Siako, has relaunched the ambition of the party to break the 8 in the region, emphasizing the need for unity among the party faithfuls, particularly the 39 contestants of the just-ended regional internal elections of the party. Bernard Ntwibwe-Siako, otherwise known as Chairman Wontumi, who was retained as the chairman of the MPP in the Ashanti region, organized a breakfast meeting for all 39 contestants and their supporters to deliberate on fostering unity with common purpose going into the 2024 general elections. During the just-ended elections, he secured 464 votes as his closest rival, Odeneho Kwekuapia, followed with 306 votes. 3 other aspirants comprising Asare-Bediako, Kwabena Owusu-Aduomi, and Oheneba Kofi-Edu-Bewa shared 30 votes. Chairman Wontumi used the occasion to express his gratitude to all the aspirants and also encouraged them to continue to work towards fostering unity and togetherness in the interest of the party.
Menimu nyina na ebe ye adwuma no enti mesra mu se mo amantimi anwene no obia no proposal na sa dia na de wakoma so a na odwen se wo wene a eno ena ka wo de bebre regional chairman award the region steering no na say committee no na say a meeting mu na ke dia ye adwuma no still no fabric na memeda no
one of the 4 aspirants of the regional chairmanship position, Kwabena Owusu-Aduomi, stressed the need for all the party faithfuls to come together as one people with common destiny to forge ahead towards winning the 2024 general elections.
Unity is a key implement that we need to have before we move on for the elections. So the chairman, the regional chairman, newly elected, has set the pace for all of us to unite. I was in my house when he came a day after the election, and he went to all the contestants, their houses. So I think he has initiated. So we also need to unite, get ourselves together.
In a related development, the newly elected Ashanti Regional Treasurer, Hajia Zainab Salo, who won her 3rd term bid, organized a Quranic recital at the Kumasi Central Mosque in giving thanks to the Almighty Allah for offering the party the peaceful atmosphere to organize the 2022 internal elections, and further prayed for a united party to win the 2024 general elections.
We are so thankful to Almighty Allah for bringing us this far. This is not my first time. I and my other sister, Nanama Ampoma, I have another sister behind me, Obapa Vic, and our chairman Wontumi, we will be able to break the 8. It shows the love that this party has for us. Today is a great day. We are so thankful for the Almighty Allah for letting us go through all the 47 constituencies so peacefully, and also the day for the election successfully, and we emerge as a winners.
Away from politics, the 6th extraordinary session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government on the situation in Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso have ended at the Jubilee House here in Accra. President Akufo-Addo, in his opening remarks, said the summit was to examine the resurgence of coups in the sub-region and develop strategies to help countries in which coups have happened return to democratic rule.
The 7th we have held on this critical issue shows your strong commitment for democracy, peace, and stability in our region. I'm happy to note that the President of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Musa Faki Mohammed, has found it possible to join us in our meeting of today. You're welcome, sir. As in March 2022, this meeting will continue to focus on the political instability in our region with the resurgence of coup d'etat since August 2020, and hopefully find some lasting solutions to this resurgence. In dealing with these unfortunate matters, our objective has always been to find ways to help those countries return to constitutional order. This will allow them to deal better with the security and humanitarian challenges they're facing. In line with our resolute commitment to upholding democratic government and democratic institutions in the ECOWAS space, as enshrined in our protocol on good governance, we've held several meetings on the unfortunate situations in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. During our last summit, we were briefed on the social, political, and security situations in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso, which informed the decisions we took then. This present summit will re-examine and assess the situation in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso in light of recent developments within the regional and global contexts which affect our countries. I look forward for successful deliberations that will consolidate our joint efforts for the establishment of a peaceful, democratic, and stable West Africa.
Former Minister of Energy and Petroleum and MP for the Elembele constituency in the Western region, Emmanuel Larmarco has expressed shock at the Ghana Gas Company's denial of concerns that it's neglected the region in its corporate social responsibility drive. The Ghana Gas Company Limited has swiftly reacted to suggestions by NDC MPs in the Western region that the company has neglected the region in its corporate social responsibility drive. Head of Corporate Communications at the Ghana National Gas Company, Ernest Owusu-Bempah, says the concerns raised by the MPs does not reflect the reality on the ground. The Ghana National Gas Company has refuted claims by NDC MPs from the Western region that it has neglected the region in its corporate social responsibility drive.
It's even an insult to the chief of Atwabo, who happens to be a board member of Ghana Gas Company Limited, a chief of Atwabo. So, indirectly, the member of parliament has insulted Awulai, one of our distinguished chiefs in a traditional area who happens to be a board member and has seen numerous projects that we've done for the people of Elembele. And I can give you about 2 or 3 charitably so that you can go and check. We'll be doing a press conference to address the issues and expose the minister, the MP's assertion and allegations which are unfounded and has no basis whatsoever anywhere. Number 1 is that over the years, Ekwe Hospital has been one of the hospitals that serve the community within the environment of Atwabo and its areas. Ghana Gas Company has refurbished the area and we've given them a facelift and has given them ultramodern facilities there. As I'm talking to you, Ghana Gas is 80%, almost 60 to 70% complete of building a 5-star ultramodern trauma center in Elembele district, which is going to be one of the biggest, I repeat, one of the biggest trauma center in the whole of West Africa, with fully installed modern healthcare facilities there that we are building.
Right.
We've built almost about 17 boreholes within the Elembele district for the people. Road construction is uncountable. You can name them. Schools, I can't name them on top of my head. And as we go along, we are going to be giving you the full facts as we go along. I just want to give you just a teaser.
Right.
So for a member of parliament to come out and be stating out of the blue, I don't know whether he was just doing his usual propaganda or he's just talking because he wants to talk. We have special priority for people who come from his constituency. Every day, he himself, he's been bringing people, a tall list of people he wants them to be employed as priority people, that we always give him priority as an MP to employ a lot of people from his constituency. And I can challenge him on that.
Let's get onto the telephone lines and speak to the MP for Elembele constituency, Emmanuel Larmarco. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the show. So the Ghana Gas company has refuted claims that it has neglected the Western region. How do you respond to that?
Well, thank you very much. I think that is very unfortunate, especially the attempt by the public relations officer, Mr. Osubempa, to basically blackmail me, the member of parliament, 40 member of parliament, and a former Minister of Energy, that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking. You see, nobody is saying that Ghana Gas has not done anything at all in the Western region. What we are saying is that Ghana Gas must do more, especially in the operating areas of the Western region. And there's a reason for that. The operating areas for the Ghana Gas Company, Jomoro, Elembele, Evalua, Jomoro, Jura, all these areas, Ahanta, Sekendi, Takwari, and Shama, and Pristia, in fact, are the operating areas. The board of Ghana Gas, and let me be very clear about what we are talking about. I made it clear that I don't think we have any problem at all for Ghana Gas to be doing projects in other regions. No, that's not what we are saying. We are also not talking about the oil and gas revenue in these projects. That money goes to the Petroleum Revenue Management account and is distributed and for projects across the country. I don't think anybody in the Western region or in Zimba is complaining, even though we have had issues there. What we are talking about is corporate social responsibility, which has traditionally been a focus of organizations and companies in their critical operating areas. Now, Mr. Owusu-Bempah says that we should be so happy that we have AstroTurf. Which is true, they build AstroTurf. He, the public relation officer of Ghana Gas Company, has AstroTurf in his hometown, Achim Agogo.
Right.
Honorable,
one of the things that Mr. Owusu-Bempah said was that these are mere propaganda being smeared against.
No, that's what I'm trying to explain. By the time I finish, you can make your conclusions if they are propaganda.
Okay.
We have AstroTurf being built about 40% complete in this district. And remember, I'm talking about almost 6 districts, 7 districts in the Western region. Let's talk about the projects in each of these districts and see the impact of Ghana Gas in these districts. And I think I've earned the right to speak for a lot of these districts in the Western region. Now, when we have the board of Ghana Gas having made a decision, for example, this year, the budget allocation for Ghana Gas was 60 million Ghana cedi. It says that every region in Ghana is going to get 1 million. Okay? And I'm saying to you, and this is what we are saying. We are saying that you tell me that VRA is doing a budget where Western region is part of. GRA will do a budget for Abuazi and probably its operating areas.
Okay.
Now, as we are speaking to you, you can tell me one hospital in the Western region that Ghana Gas has given 2 million Ghana cedi to. But they're giving that money to a Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. We are not talking about that. We have 4 AstroTurf in Kumasi alone. We have 1 AstroTurf at Asante Achimagogo, the hometown of Owusu-Bempah. He says that the people of Western region and Zima should clap because we have 1 AstroTurf in where Ghana Gas is operating in Elembele. Is that what we are saying? What we are saying is that Ghana Gas must focus on its operating area and make sure, and we don't speak in a vacuum. The board's decision to see its operating area as the whole of Ghana in terms of corporate social responsibility is flawed. Okay. And because of that, it is impacting all these districts. And we are saying that Ghana Gas is too new. Look, he talked about employment. In his attempt to blackmail me, he says that I bring him a long list. I'm not ashamed of that. He has no idea how even the plant was built.
Right. Honorable.
So, no, let me conclude.
Okay.
But I'm telling you that if Ghana Gas should be able to tell you that in the last 6 years, they have increased employment from 300 to about 1,200. How many of those people working there are from the Western region? And I should shut up because in the last 6 years, with all the CVs that has gone there, they have hired 5 people that I have sent. I should be quiet. Look, I think that what is best for Ghana Gas to do is to basically focus on the things they've done. He says that we should be happy because they are building a trauma center. Look, I was the minister and supervised the construction of Ghana Gas. The trauma center was necessarily part of the gas project. It should have been ready a year after the plant. Because you can't have that plan without a trauma center.
Right.
So
Honorable, kindly let me come in here. So prior to coming up with this press conference, did you at any point engage the authorities at the Ghana Gas to address these concerns?
I was very clear. I happen to be a member of the Energy Committee, and I had the chance to explain to Ghana Gas leadership the concerns of these communities, especially the districts in the Western region. And I said that, yes, you are renovating a hospital in Hafasni. We know that you have plans to rehabilitate a hospital in Axim. We also know that you've renovated a school in Elembele. You have done Oye and Clive Road. But I'm saying that we know what you are doing in other districts.
Okay.
Across the country. Make sure that you are focusing more on these areas. And then you come out, instead of saying that this is what we are doing and explaining, you come there and you go ahead and attack. He thinks that because somehow he's enjoying a political booty, everybody should shut up and we should be happy. We should be happy for whatever they give us. We are saying that they should focus more on the operating areas. The 6th district and Prestia where the pipeline goes through. Those are the places they should be focusing more on. This is not oil and gas revenue. This is corporate social responsibility.
Okay.
The area where you get your social license. Don't say that you are going to say 60 million. The whole of Western region will get 1 million. Every region will get 1 million. I said it's flawed.
Okay. All right, Honorable, thank you very much for your time tonight. I'm afraid we'll have to end the conversation here. Thank you for talking to us tonight. You're still watching Newsnight here on Metro Television. We'll go for a quick break. We'll be back with more. You're welcome back. An exhibition and theatre performance is underway at the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences to commemorate the 43rd anniversary of the 1979 June 4 uprising. The event is being organized by the Rawlings Foundation. On 4th June 1979, Ghana was ushered into its morning life with an announcement on radio by Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings of a change in government by the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council. You're still watching Newsnight here on Metro Television. Let's bring in more stories as the National Democratic Congress, NDC, in the Ketu South constituency of the Volta region has commemorated the anniversary of the June 4 uprising, which led to the birth of the party. According to the Member of Parliament for the area, Jifagomashi, the country has been plunged back to the dark days, and there is the need for another change to put the country back on track. Many NDC supporters believe the June 4 uprising, led by the founder of the party, the late Jerry John Rawlings, was a turning point in the history of the development of the country. An event they believe rescued the country from bad governance. This year, 2 constituencies in the Volta region, Ketu South and North Tong, marked the day. In Ketu South, a health walk was used to herald the occasion.
Ketu South, we are finding life very, very difficult. In the 2 years that the borders were closed, in the 1 year that the tidal waves came, we have not received any support. So the difficulties we are facing now is worse than what I faced as a child in 1979. And that's why we thought that we must commemorate on our own. In Parliament also, we were advised that some can go to Oti region where the National is celebrating the day, and the rest of us can also have activities in our constituency. The chairman and I and the Aflau urban zone decided that we will organize a walk. In Katusan, if you've been here before, you know that we love exercising. And so that's what we have done today.
The MP for the area, Jefa Gomashi, was appalled by the state of roads in the constituency. To her, it is just due to bad governance. The walk started by 6 a.m. from Denu 3 Town Senior High through the principal streets of Aflao and ended at Beach Park. The Wa Circuit Court, presided over by His Honor Jonathan Avogo, earlier in the week granted bail to all 3 persons suspected to have been involved in the flogging of the 2 lovers whose nude photos went viral on social media. The court also ordered the release of some 13 others who were alleged to be among some rampaging youth group who besieged the Upper West Regional Police Headquarters. The release of the suspects brought an easy calm to Wa in the Upper West region.
Wa is a fast-growing municipality in Ghana, and for some time now we have recorded nude pictures and videos involving natives of Wa, particularly the traditional homes. From the religious families, we talk of the imams and the landlords. These are the groups, the owners of the town. And anytime we get such video, it involves their children. So it became worry to the overlord of Wa, Naaf Hussein Seidu Pelipo, and the Wala Traditional Council. So they met some time ago to deliberate on the issue and find a way to curtail such videos going forward. So it was there that they make public announcement that going forward, public should be wary of such videos circulating involving natives of Wa, particularly lovers, should disengage in that act. Well, it appears though that some of them did not take it serious. We just woke up one day to realize that another video has popped up. Then they were able to trace them. You know, when that happened, there's this group that they have. Dave is a volunteer group that wants to track those who release such videos. So they were able to trace these lovers, and then they brought them to Wana's palace. Actually, they were not sent there to be flogged. Their intention, according to information we gathered, was there to send them to the chiefs so that they will look at how they are going to deal with them. But when they got to the palace, they met this chief's name you have mentioned. Then upon deliberating on the issue, they asked some of them to give them some lashes to serve as deterrent. You know, initially they wanted to give them 100 lashes each, but after giving them 20 lashes, they just realized that they could not withstand it if they want to give them 100. So they decided to leave it there. But then there were onlookers there taking footages, and some journalists equally were there, some social media reporters and one journalist who was equally there. And we were also called to come and see what is happening at the palace. So we also got there, we had the videos, and it was all over. Then there was a spokesperson, Jimpehena Ibrahim Kader, but then he was not there.
Okay.
So we contacted him whether actually what happened, the overlord actually directed that the lovers should be flogged in that manner.
That was our resident correspondent in the Upper West region, Adams Musa, bringing us up to speed on events that have unfolded so far in connection with that flogging. Now, World Vision Ghana has launched a new strategy to support 3.3 million vulnerable children in Ghana with quality education, quality healthcare, and family support. Deputy Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Lariba Abudu, who gave the keynote address, said government alone cannot support the vulnerable in society, calling for a collaborative approach towards helping the vulnerable in the country.
Child vulnerability manifests itself in so many forms in Ghana, with significant disparities between rural and urban wealth qualities of household, educational, and gender-based violence. Children are exposed to a range of risks, including economic, social, and environmental, among others. The vulnerabilities focused by children can have lifelong consequences and implications on their growth. Despite the many efforts by government, the private sector, and NGOs to better the lives of Ghanaians, including children, we acknowledge that while disparities still exist, the vulnerability of children, we call for a broader consultative cooperation towards accelerating our commitment to most vulnerable children. It is in the spirit of partnership between government, the private sectors, NGOs, CSOs, academia, and research institutions that we can achieve this ambitious strategy and government's vision of a prosperous and safe country for Ghanaians.
Meanwhile, some traders at the Medina market have called on authorities to intervene in what they call constant theft of their monies and wares in the market. The market women made this known when Obasima Foundation, a non-governmental organization, held an empowerment summit at the market. Exhibition conference organized by the Accra Technical University Faculty of Applied Sciences was themed Innovation Technologies and Applied Sciences. It was to showcase the innovative and technological ability of its students in the ever-changing world of work. Speaking on disruptive technologies, Pro Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Amevi Akakbovi, mentioned that digitization has come to stay, hence the need for all to embrace it to change Africa's social-economic problems.
Let's leave the past, but where we are now, what matters and what is going on? Because if you are not able to capitalize on the direction the world is having now, we will not have any relevance in solving problems. And so if you analyze that very well and you're able to communicate it to devices, to tools, we become robots, or you're able to develop systems, softwares that can implement those ideas, this is the direction the world is going. And gradually, when we move this direction, we change the way most of the things are done. And we might not need people who have some expertise in the past because they may not be relevant for the future.
Director of Business Development at the Association of Ghana Industries, Johnson Opoku-Boateng, believes partnership between industry and academia is necessary to address the social, environmental, and economic challenges the globe is facing.
Its willingness to consider the promotion of university-industry linkages as part of a broader science, technology, and innovation policy programs. Although we are saddled with financial constraints due to global occurrences, government along with industry and universities must make intricate choices between collaboration in education or in research, between university collaboration with established firms through matching grants and consortia, or new firms through spin-offs or incubators, and between providing grants or developing science parks, among other factors.
Some of the works exhibited included 3D printing, drone technologies, microbiology tests, amongst others. So the story that just went by is about the Director of Business Development at the Association of Ghana Industries, Johnson Opoku-Boateng, who has called on various stakeholders in the entrepreneurship and small business development ecosystem to address the high level of graduate unemployment. You're still watching Newsline here on Metro TV. Let's now bring you this story where some traders at the Medina market have called on authorities to intervene in what they call constant theft of their monies and wares in the market. The Life Skills Capacity Building Activation at Bosher Market, Medina, by Obasima Foundation, a non-governmental organization, was to provide support for young ladies and women in the areas of manpower and vocational skills training. During the event, it provided startup kits for small businesses to the women. Amma Pratt is the executive director of the Obasima Foundation.
The plan is to engage women of all demographics across board, across regions, across classes in conversations that, seeks to serve our interests, conversations about ourselves, to celebrate our womanhood, but also to have conversations around the things that we need to progress, and also the things that we need as women to capacitate us better in, elevating us to the next step. Ultimately, our aim is development for Ghana, development for the world. And so we believe that it's these conversations and these empowerment drives that would ultimately serve our interests as women.
Speaking about their challenges at the Medina market, traders mentioned that weed smokers, robbery, and teenage pregnancy are some of the worrying factors in the market. They called on the appropriate authority to intervene.
Yes, Ramo. And after getting market, and one than I just a yes, Ramo. Yes, Ramo, man, Palano, so he had teachings. Yes, Ramo.
Return from the break with the latest in business. Stay with us. In business tonight, Ghana has been ranked first on the Fitch Solutions Operational Risk Index in the West African sub-region. The index compares the challenges of operating in 201 countries and territories globally. Each country or territory on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 being the lowest risk. The research conducted by Fitch scored Ghana 50.9 out of 100 in trade and investment. Ghana outperformed the West African average of 36.4 and ranks in a competitive second position regionally, and in 88th place out of 201 markets globally. Additionally, the report noted that with a crime and security risk score of 51 out of 100, Ghana outperformed the West African average of 33.3 and ranks in first place regionally and in 90th place out of 201 markets globally. Fitch Solutions forecast that in 2023, Ghana's construction industry's growth will accelerate slightly as it forecasts the depreciation of the cedi against the US dollar to slow down to 4.6% year-on-year. Generally, this will reduce revenue risks for foreign investors, while lower inflation will improve demand for residential and non-residential construction. A select number of Ghanaian-based companies which are engaged in transacting business with their African counterparts have been honored at the 16th Ghana Africa Business Awards ceremony. The Ghana Africa Business Awards scheme was instituted in 2004 under the auspices of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration by Top Brass Ghana to honor enterprises which make noteworthy contributions to Ghana's development through promotion of trade, investment, and other economic relations between Ghana and sister African countries. Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Foreign Affairs, Brian Achampon, observed that with the recent creation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, whose secretariat is located in Accra, the Ghana Africa Business Awards assumes a special significance and relevance.
I have no doubt that the partnership between the private and public sectors will go a long way to bring new expertise and useful ideas towards formulation of the right policies by government. To this end, I want to emphasize that government recognizes and is working to revamp the regulatory structure, increase the ease of doing business, ensure fiscal discipline, and encourage greater transparency and accountability to create an enabling climate for business to thrive.
Sam Awadis spoke to Metro News.
Over the challenges, you know, looking at the environment and then trying to do something extraordinary, it comes with a lot of challenges because the attitude of the people and the perception with which people see you doing things seem to be different. And you know, anytime you attempt to do anything different from the norm, you attract a lot of criticisms. Even the very staff which we are working with compare themselves to the other organizations, and they think that it's too much in our environment because there's absolute discipline and hard work. So these are the challenges, but with time, they've accepted it, and that's why we're excelling.
Well, you always expect the best. You know, we don't downgrade with our quality. We are promising, we always deliver the best, and we continue to deliver the best for our homeland Ghana.
When we return from the break, we'll update you on the just ended ECOWAS Summit here in Accra. Stay tuned. You're welcome back. So the 6th ECOWAS Extraordinary Summit on the political situation in Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Mali has ended at the Jubilee House here in Accra. President of ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Brou, has been addressing the press on the outcome. Let's cross over for more.
Most important, took most of the time of the head of state in the situation of Mali. The ECOWAS head of state commended the work done by the mediator, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan, who is the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who has been actively involved in trying to find a solution to the situation, the political situation in Mali. The summit noted that the humanitarian situation is very difficult and complexified by the fact that, of course, we have the impact of the very poor rainy season. We have the impact of the Ukraine-Russian war. We have also, of course, the impact of many internal displaced persons. Number have really increased. And also, Summit noted that despite the effort of the Malian military security forces, which have made a lot of action to gain some ground, the security situation is still very challenging. So the summit called on all the international partners to increase the support to Mali in terms of humanitarian support particularly. On the key element on the transition period, as you know, that was a point where there was some diverging views that led to the sanction imposed on January 9, 2022. The authority heard a report, note of a report that was made by the mediator. He was in Bamako a few days ago, and he made his report. So after discussing his report, the authority asked the mediator to finalize the negotiation, the discussion with the Malian authorities that will allow the gradual removal of the sanction, the economic and financial sanctions that were imposed. So, and also the authority decided that they will really re-examine again this issue, very important point, next month, early next month, on July 3rd, during the ordinary summit. In Burkina, the situation is that you recall on 24 March when they met, they imposed sanctions that will take place April 25th because of the transition period of 36 months that was announced by the authorities in Burkina. But shortly before the date of 25th April, the Burkinabe authorities asked for some additional time to review the issues, and they invited ECOWAS to send a mission to Burkina to look at the humanitarian and security situation, to assess the extent of the humanitarian and security difficulties. So we sent a mission. The mission was in Burkina. They in fact went a little bit they didn't stay only in the capital city. They went in the country and to at least have a direct, concrete view of the situation. And of course, the report clearly indicates that the humanitarian situation is very difficult in Burkina.
Entertainment news is next. And to a rather sad story, as the late veteran actor Sam Adjotefio, popularly known as Titi, has been laid to rest after an emotional funeral ceremony at the forecourt of the trade fair at La here in Accra.
Titi Sam Adjotefio, I met him in the industry, but he has absorbed me easily. He became like colleagues, although he was older than me. When we were working like colleagues. They really their respect in there. And he was a professional actor. And when you work with him, you know what you're about. Sometimes he gets off and then tells you, hey, like he queries you or something. Along the lines, I know joke name there.
Right from that time now, the film time with Freeman. I think say Freeman Friday. Last time in Yankuta Tuesday. We were talking very often, almost every weekend. He was a very close friend, a big brother. You know, he was also an inspiration because Ajumana
people like Titi, people like Mark Jordan Amate, people like Oscar Provencal, they speak and speak so well, and you are challenged to polish your diction as well, so that when you express yourself, you'd also sound correctly, you'd also come out very well, and people would show you the honor and respect that you deserve.
Titi should have died the year after. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, keep seeing this metric base from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. It is a tale told by an idiot. But Titi's death has brought great discombobulation to every gorgeous masculine sapien. But as my late mother always say, sickness does not kill a person. It is death that kills a person. When death comes, there's nothing we can do. I would say that Titi was a genius. He was a gem. He was great. And every performance that Titi gave was up to the point. Titi will never miss his lines. Titi will never miss his cue. Titi will encourage you whilst we are on set. If you do this and that, it will enhance the program. But he has gone. It is my prayer that the Lord, even though our melancholism has been discombobulated, the Lord, through his pneumological abrasion, will comfort first the children, the family, and all Ghanaians.
May his soul rest in peace and may his memory be a blessing. International news is next. Take you to Kenya, where 4 people were killed and 5 others injured when Kenyan police opened fire on a crowd protesting against an increase in attacks by wildfire. Police shot at demonstrators in the Rift Valley town of Masimba, 170 kilometers south of Nairobi. That's it for now, but before we go, a look again at our top stories. Delayed Central Regional Executive elections by the ruling New Patriotic Party comes to an end. The 6th extraordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government on the political situations in Burkina Faso, the Republic of Guinea and Mali ends at the Jubilee House in Accra. Former Minister of Energy and Petroleum and MP for the Elembele constituency, Emmanuel Larmarco, shocked by Ghana Gas's denial of concerns that it has neglected the region in its corporate social responsibility drive. We spoke to the MP himself. We also took you to Kenya, where 4 people have been killed and 5 others injured when Kenyan police opened fire on a crowd protesting against an increase in attacks by wildlife. My name is Kenneth. Jesse, thanks for watching. Have a good night.